Uh, so is this point clear to everyone? Access tier, hot tier, cold tier, and archive tier. Yes, no, maybe, guys. Any doubts, any questions? Please feel free to ask if any doubt is there. You don't have to select, you don't have to decide that which one will go where. You just should know that these are the tiers available. This is the this kind of data goes in this tier. Now, which will go exactly where, you don't have to worry. कि exactly cool और cold में कितना difference होगा, which one should go here, which one shall go here. You don't have to worry. Right? These are the options, and this is the example. Hot tier, uh, you will have extra cost at the saving, but concession at transaction of data, retrieving the data. Right? In cold tier, you will get some discount while saving, but transactions will be costly. Cold tier, saving will be more cheaper, but transactions will be more costlier. Archive, saving is cheapest. Why it happens, I'll tell you. It's not exactly the devices they use, but just for your information, that we don't even come to know that what they are using. But wherever you read some articles, you'll come to know that here they're saving your data in SSD. Here they're saving their data SSD. Here maybe they are using premium SSD, standard SSD. Here they're using hard disk, and here they're using. Do you remember those tape which we used to get those black tapes? So they use the tape storage. They still use the tape storage. So for them, saving your data, it's cheaper. Hence, they're giving you discount. But as I told you, not exactly like this. Maybe they have changed something. You don't even have to worry about it. You have to know that these are the tiers available. This is the pattern of charges. This is not exact charge. I have already told you. This is not the exact charge, but this is the pattern and this is the approach or method of the charges. You can always go and check on the Azure calculator. Let's see. If I go here on Azure calculator and search for storage account view, let's say that let's remove Bastion just to show you that what kind of difference is there. So you can imagine when we have thousands of storage account, how will it impact and why is it that necessary to know about tiers? Storage account, let's say, uh, let it be East US. Same thing, we're not changing. Standard, fine. Purpose 2, it's okay. Redundancy, same. Capacity, let's say 100 GB. Okay? Pay as you go. Every parameter we are going to keep same, right? By the way, this is what I was talking about when I say transaction, the write operations, list and create container operations, very nominal charge, but when we are doing it in large, it will make a lot of changes. Let me see if I can change the currency so it will be easier for you to understand the difference immediately. So now see, if I take one storage account, 100 GB, hot tier, LRS, how much am I paying? 278, or let's make it 1 terabyte. Sorry, this is data retrieval. 1 terabyte. So how much am I paying, guys? At the end, 1993 rupees, right? I'm not changing anything except for access tier. Now, instead of hot tier, if I keep it in cool tier, how much am I paying instead of 19? 2445. This is because data retrieval I have kept 1 TB. So let me 1500 from 19 to 1500. So you can use all these parameters. This is where you will decide. This is where your architecture team will come and play कि हाँ इसमें data retrieval ज़्यादा है, other operations ज़्यादा है, read operations कम है, ज़्यादा है. These are the parameters which they will play with. Right? Now if I go ahead and keep cold, 742 rupees. Right? But I can't keep everything same because यही तो parameters है which will give me the exact uh, conclusion that what should I use? My data, where am I? Where are the right operations that I would say more than read operations, or where are the data retrieval is more compared to write operations? I'll have to consider all of them. But if I keep all of them same and still check, look at this. For archive, front cost, monthly cost, why it went up? Pricing is not available for your selection in this region. But this is where you can come and you can check. Again, you don't have to worry about the price. You don't have to worry about anything. From the interview perspective, as an admin perspective, you should know these are the tiers. This is the method. This is how what you need to know. One more thing we need to know, it's archived data cannot be accessed directly. Archive data, for example, if I go here and this is my storage account. Under my storage account, provided I have kept, I've given you the access or anonymous is enabled or not. Access part is different. Now we are talking tier. Imagine you have all the accesses on this one. Right? So with along with all the accesses, you'll be able to access this data. It is in hot tier now. Can you see it is a hot tier? Now if I share this link with you, and if this is fine, you all will be able to access this data. You'll be able to access this data, right? Let's see if it has, see, I'm able to access this data. Now if I go ahead and change tier, I make it from hot to cool, I'll still be able to access the data. Okay? I change it from hot to cool, I'll be able to access the data. I change it from cool to cold, I'll be able to access the data. The moment I put it in archive, now you will not be able to access the data. The moment it is in archive, you will not be able to see. This blob is currently archived and cannot be downloaded. Right? To access that, you will have to change the tier, and that process is called rehydration. Rehydrate the blob by copying and pasting it in the desired storage account to download it, or change the blob tier to hot or cool. What does it mean? That once it is in archive tier, you can't access this. You can't do anything with this data. You have to come here and change the tier. And you change the tier, then only you'll be able to access. Now we are dealing with very small file. So it's very easy for me to go ahead and click hot and cold, just 54 KB file. Okay? Imagine this is a file of in GB and TB. That time when from archive, when you try to change this file to cold tier and hot tier, it takes a lot of time, sometimes in 10 hours also. This is the reason whenever they request anything from archive, right, they will ask you for some time, 1 day or 2 day. And this process is called rehydration of data. So you have to rehydrate the data, which means either you copy and paste it in the desired storage count. Even copying will not work unless you change it, or you change the blob tier to hot or cool. So this is your tier. This is hot tier, archive tier, and rehydrate. I think I have already written here about rehydrate. There is an option of rehydrate. uh, which works quickly, but that only is eligible or applicable for 10 GB data. अगर 10 GB से ज़्यादा होता है तो quick retrieval is not possible. Let me see. First, let's read here. Access tiers, hot tier for data access frequently, higher storage cost but lowest access cost. It is good for data like VHD, virtual hard disk. Cool tier for data access infrequently, lower storage cost but higher access cost. Same cold. Archive for data rarely accessed, lowest storage cost, high access cost, delay in retrieving, and like tape storage, they use like tape storage. If you want to retrieve the archive data, then first you will have to change it to cool or hot tier using the rehydrate option. कोई अलग से कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता. You go there, change the tier. That is called rehydrate option. There is an option to do the high speed rehydration, but that applies only for data maximum 15 GB. This number can be old. You can always go ahead and check that. So this is your access tier. Everything you'll get here. Transaction optimize, you'll get in file share. We'll see that later. So is this point clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now the next thing is life cycle management. That what do you guys do to save some money? What do you do to make sure that I'm not spending more, right? Or what kind of practice do you follow? I understand as an administrator, it's not your job to design, but as an admin, you must have seen multiple designs, right? So what kind of pattern have you seen? So to always to save some cost, you will see life cycle management feature in storage account. So we can create rules by which we can control the blob, one particular blob or all the blobs in the storage account, access tier from hot to cool, cool to archive. So let's go ahead and check how to do that. So here if I go there on my storage account, somewhere here I should find lifecycle management. It is under data management. I see lifecycle management. If I click here, I see there are no rules. I'll have to add a rule. I click here. This is how I will see. Here it is. I'm already on that page, right? So I can give any name. Let's say I'm calling it as first data management rule. And this is for some particular app. Fine, whatever name it is. Do I want to apply the rule all the blobs in my storage account or limit to blob with filters, as in whichever I will select later? As of now, let's put it on all blob. You can select this one also. See, if I put this, can you see filter set? In next screen, I will get one option, which blob I have to select. So it's very, very simple. What kind of blobs do I want to consider? Append blobs, block blobs. अब जब आप blob में भी जाते हो, there are options. We don't have to get into that now. Let's consider all blobs. Right? Under blobs, do you want to cover snapshots also, versions also? What are snapshots and versions? We'll see. But do you want to cover them now under lifecycle management policy? If you yes, you select it yes. If not, if uncheck it. Simple. Click next. So base blobs were created or last modified. So let's select more than 15 days. If it was created 15 days ago or last modified, I would go ahead with last modified because created तो ऐसा है कि एक महीने पहले मैंने बना रखा है और month में किसी ने इसको touch ही नहीं किया, then it won't apply, right? So last modified. Maybe someone checked my blob, someone edited that 15 days ago or 12 days ago. So I don't want any changes in that, which means someone is accessing my data. So I'll always go with this one, last modified. So what is it saying? That blobs that were last modified 15 days ago. Anything which is going 15 days and ago, right? अगर ये blob 15 days में किसी ने modify नहीं किया है, no one has touched this blob in 15 days, or let's say 25 days, then delete the blob. I can select this, right? Or why am I getting deleted directly? Let's say if I remove this one here. So because I selected versions and everything, in versions not possible to go to queue and everything. So we'll stick to basics, blob, and base blocks. These are basic blobs in which we are dealing now. Next. So if the blob haven't been modified in last 25 days, then move it to cold storage, right? Simple. If the base blob was not modified after putting it in cold storage, if no one touches that for 10 days, किसी को पड़ी ही नहीं है वो cold इसमें भी चला गया cold में, no one is doing that, then move it to here. You can put one more cool and then cold or directly cold, right? Move it to archive. You can skip the blobs that I've recently rehydrated if I want. I want to put more condition, add here. If that particular blob which was moved from cool to cold and then to this one, where are we moving? Archive. If no one touches that for what 60 days, then let's delete it. Simple. So this is my rule. This is called life cycle management of data. You can select any number, you can uh, move the conditions here and there, that if someone is edited that it should go back to hot tier, anything you can keep adding the conditions whatever you want. Click next. Filter. Enter the prefix of the file such as my which blob do you want to cover? Any specific blob, that the blobs which are starting with this particular name, those only should be covered, or I want to cover everything, just leave it blank. In a storage account, I may have 10 blobs. I can use that using name, that all the blobs starting with UT-Kloud, they should fall under this lifecycle management. If it is not starting with UT-Kloud, if it is starting with Tsoft, then this lifecycle management should not apply. I can select it over there. If not, I'll simply go ahead and select all. Because I told you, you will always see different storage accounts. Having different storage account for different purposes, it's not a big deal, just to avoid these things, because there could be something where I want to use different policy, where I want to use different access policy, right? And other client doesn't want to use it. So no one wants to make that jumble. No one wants to do that. So better thing will be you keep your storage accounts different. You keep all things differently. This is how you use your Azure Lifecycle Management for your blobs. You can have multiple rules, by the way. Not only single rule, you can have multiple rules. Just because I've created the rule and I don't want to use it for 15 days, it doesn't mean I have to delete it. You can disable the rule also. For this 15 days, I'm doing some practice, some R&D, some testing. So I don't want this rule to be applied. Disable it. Okay, I'm done with that. We are back to normal. Enable the rule. I want one more rule, add the rule. I'm not happy with the rule, delete the rule. So all these options you have under lifecycle management. So access tier, rehydration, and lifecycle management. Are these topics clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Any questions, any doubts, please feel free to ask. Go ahead and explore a little bit those policies. बहुत ज्यादा नहीं आता है, so don't spend much time on that. कि यार हो नहीं रहा exactly. Don't create lengthy practicals कि मैं इसको आज बनाता हूँ 15 days बाद I will check. Not required. No one in your interview is going to actually ask you कि come here and create this. They will know, they will ask the concept. You should know the concept that yes, there is such thing called life cycle management. If someone is talking about life cycle management, you should not be blank thinking that ये क्या होता है, never heard of it. right? If you claim that you have worked for 5 years and you say that you do not know what is lifecycle management and the storage account, then it will be easier for them to understand that you're lying, right? Uh, tiers, you should know. Don't have to remember the prices, you don't have to remember anything, nothing. But you should know that there are some things called hot tier, cold tier, archive tier, rehydration of data. Rehydration is nothing like changing the tier, it is, but they have just given a name, so remember it. Again, let's go with LRS. Next, there's nothing we have to cover here. This one we covered. This one we covered. We are done with tiers. Any questions, guys, here? Any question? Hot tier, cold, and see it's written here. Optimized for frequently accessed data, everyday user scenario. Optimized for infrequently accessed data, backup scenarios. Optimized for rarely accessed data, backup scenarios. Click next. Let's talk about the networking now. Any doubts, guys? Any questions before we move to network? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Uh, let's go ahead and check the network. What does it say? Storage account which you're creating, right? Access your resource from any network through a public network, anywhere through a public network. If I select public network enable, this is the reason you guys are able to access my storage account, right? You are sitting on some different computer. We are not in the same network, no VPN, no express route, right? Nothing. But still you are able to use my storage account. And am I even using public IP? No, I'm using URL. Still you are able to access my public IP. Oh, sorry, my storage account on public network. If I want to delete or disable that, I do not want you to access my storage account. I'll disable it. Simple. No one will be able to use my storage account using public access. That URL, no one will be able to use it. Is this clear, guys, to everyone? No one will be able to use it if I disable it here. If I enable it here, first let's cover this one. If I enable it here, next thing is, do I want public network access scope from all the networks or from some particular network? Same thing I can do on Blob using SAS, if you remember, right? But I want to do it at the storage account level only. Network में यहीं पर बनाना है मुझको. So while creating, I'm saying public access, it's okay, but it should not be available for anyone and everyone. Right? Do not enable it from all the network. Enable from selected virtual networks and IPs. So what do you mean when you say public address and public virtual network and IP? Now, if I select one virtual network, what options will I have here? Will I be able to use only virtual networks which are in Azure, or can I give you guys also access? What do you think? If I select this option, will I be able to give access to you guys or not if I want to? You are not there in my virtual network. I'm not letting you create any virtual machine in my virtual network. You're not there, in fact, on my subscription. But I'm selecting this option. Read it carefully and let me know that will I have an option to give you guys access? I'm not giving it to everyone. If I want to give it to everyone, I'll select this one. I'm okay, let it be on public, but selective on public. So what
So
do you
yes,
think?
you can give access.
Which sentence or which word of the sentence tells you that I'll be able to give you access?
Enable from selected virtual networks
But you
or
guys are not in my
particular
virtual
IP
network.
address.
Yes. Virtual network, I understand. Fine.
Like,
Here I go. I select this virtual network that any virtual machine or anything is there in this virtual network will be able to access my data, right? Anything. If there are 100 machines, all of them will be able to access my storage account. I have one more thing here. Can you see? Here I can type your public IP address. I can ask you guys, please share your public IP address, and I'll type your public IP address here. By the way, this is my public IP address. It has picked up already. Here I can type your public IP also. If I do this, then all the machines which are there, by the way, I'm just saying machine, it can be anything. It can be another service, another key vault, or another function app, any resource in this virtual network, or any resource coming from my laptop. Not necessarily just virtual machine, not necessarily just browser. Any kind of traffic which is coming from this virtual network, right? From this subnet. I can select one subnet also. See, in this virtual network, I have two of them. I want to select only one subnet. I can do that. I can select all the subnets if I want to. If I go here and I see two subnets, I can select all of them. I can select one subnet also. That is up to me, that what kind of access do I want to give and to whom. तो ये तो हुआ आपका VNet. From outside, I can add a multiple IP address. I add a CIDR range, and they will be able to access the data. This is your storage account networking. Any questions till here? When I enable it, what is the difference between this one and this one? Any questions, guys?
No.
Okay. Now, do you see one more option, which is disable? What will happen if I disable it? What do you think will happen? Anyone will be able to access my data, do you think, if I disable it? No one will be able to access the data if I disable it. But before we go there, let me ask you one question. Let this diagram, let me open this one. Let's say this is your storage account. Let me see if I can find storage account. I'll add one storage account here and I'll show you what I'm trying to ask you. Let me ask this question. So you'll have a better understanding once you see it here visually. It's working slow again. Taking time. Let me open Paint. So this is your storage account. If I keep it enabled for public, right? This is storage account. This is my cloud. Here I have a blob. You guys are accessing that blob. I've kept it enabled. So the traffic will come from here, right? Is it possible? This is internet. Let's say this is outside internet. I've kept it enabled for all. Is it possible to have this kind of access? Obviously, when you have access on the storage account, just because network connectivity is there, that does not mean everyone will be able to access my data. Hey, either I have shared the keys or I have kept it as anonymous for all of you. I hope you guys don't get confused between access and networking, network ability. Whenever I say this is possible, that doesn't mean everyone on the internet will be able to access my storage. If I have given them access as anonymous and I have shared the URL, that's a different thing. Or if I've shared the key access or SAS or something, that's a different thing, right? Along with that, I need this network settings. So imagine that he has all the access. Is this possible then?
Yes.
Yes. Now I have a virtual network here. In this virtual network, I have some other resources, maybe virtual machine, function app, XYZ, ABC, anything. If this one wants to access my storage account, is it possible? Someone sitting here wants to access my storage account. Is it possible? This guy is able to access, right? And guy is sitting here on this machine. He also has some access in terms of access key वगैरह सब कुछ है. From network perspective, can he access this storage account or not? And my settings say ये मेरी settings है. My question is this possible or not? Someone for first question, these are the settings I have selected. First question, that from outside, from the internet, is it possible to access my storage account or not? Provided all of them have sufficient access key hai, shared access signature hai, or anonymous hai. So do not get into that. From the network perspective, is it possible to access my storage account from the internet or not?
Yes, possible.
Yes, we can enable it.
Yes,
Remote
possible.
access.
Someone sitting on this VM. This is my VNet. This is my subnet. Someone sitting on this VNet. Someone sitting on this VM. Possible for him to access my storage account or not?
Yes, if we have
Yes,
internet access
possible.
on that particular VM.
Yes. Imagine he has internet access. Everything is there. Yes, it is possible. But how the traffic is going? Let's say this guy is trying to access. He is in Azure. This is also on Azure. Both of them are in same subscription. Everything is same. Maybe they are in same region. Everything is same. But the traffic is not going like this. It is technically possible to access. The traffic is going over the internet. This guy is accessing, but over the internet. Now I change the setting. I make it enable fine, but not from all the IP address. I make sure that I go here and I select this particular this one, and I've selected only one subnet, and here I have selected this IP address. Now this is the setting. Okay. Now this machine, or the next question, a traffic coming from internet. I am trying to access, this is my public IP by the way, and I am trying to access this storage account. Is it possible?
Yes, possible.
Possible.
You are trying to access this account from your machine, provided I have given you anonymous access key वगैरह सब दे रखा है. From the network point of view, I'm asking the question. You are trying to access now. Is it possible? Yes, no?
No,
Why not?
because I am not the part of your subscription.
No, forget the subscription. You are accessing it from your laptop. Browser पे जाकर आप बस link click कर रहे हो.
IP address.
Yes. Because you are not coming from this IP address. Your traffic is not generating from this IP address. If I want you to access, I'll have to add your IP address here. Clear, guys, to everyone? Now this machine, the one which you see in green, they are part of temp subnet, and the one which you see on orange, they are part of application subnet. Though application gateway subnet में कोई machine नहीं हो सकता, but just now for understanding, they are from the application gateway subnet. So if someone tries to access this storage account from this orange machine, is it possible? From application gateway subnet.
No, we didn't selected the subnet.
Someone is trying to access this storage account from temp LB subnet machine, which are highlighted in green. Is it possible?
Yes, they can able to access.
Yes.
But now I have done this. Now how the traffic will go? Like this or like this? What do you think? Over the internet or via Azure Backbone Network? This is called Azure Backbone Network, and this is internet. How the traffic will go?
Azure backbone.
No. First answer is correct. He'll be able to access, but the point is it will still go over the internet. Clear, guys? Still here? How it works? What does it mean when I select some things here? Is the networking part clear, guys? Still here? But what does it mean if I select this, if I select that? Yes, no, maybe. Any doubts, any questions?
Well, sir,
Yes.
if you want to select two virtual network, then how can we do after creation or
Hmm. Multiple virtual networks? Is that you're saying?
yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
यहाँ पर होगा कहीं पर. And you don't even require that. उसमें आप ये कर लो, what you say. VNet pairing कर लो, that will work. Let's see. If I go ahead and check multi-subscription, yes, I'm able to select. I'll see. I'll get back to you on this one. Exact answer, how to do it.
Yeah.
But it is possible. Not
Sure,
impossible. It is definitely possible. Maybe we'll have to use some PowerShell script and mention those two. Or let's see it if it allows manage selected virtual network. No, it is taking me back there. But you can select multiple. How part? I'll check that. Yes, guys. Any
Yeah,
doubts?
sure.
Any questions?
So can we give access to multiple IP address?
Yes, here you can keep adding. You can add a cider range also. It's not taking it because it's exactly same, but you can.
After creation is possible to add IP address.
We'll see that whether we, yes, it is possible. How to do that? We'll see that.
Okay.
Changing the network part, it is possible. Yes. How and where do we see all those options? We'll see. But it is possible. It is possible to add multiple networks. It is possible to add multiple IPs. It is possible to amend the settings. Yes to all three questions. Yes, guys. Any other question? If not, before tomorrow's session, small homework for you. I do not want anyone accessing my storage account from outside. No one should be able to do it from outside. My machines should be able to access it, but using my Azure network. I don't want this traffic. I don't like this traffic. I want something like this. So either put it in the group, how to do it. Don't just put one word answer. Put the steps or try to search it. Tomorrow I'll show it to you. Now, if I do this, I'm able to access this, but this is how my traffic is routing. I don't like that. I don't want that. Why should my data travel over the internet when I do not have any business requirement कि internet पे जाना चाहिए? Storage account is here, user is here. Why can't they communicate directly? Of course they can. How? You guys have to figure it out. Tomorrow I'll show it to you. Or if someone gets the article or steps, put it in the group. Okay? You can also find the answer to this one, how to add multiple virtual networks. If not, I'll show it to you tomorrow. Okay, I'm stopping the session. See you guys tomorrow.